We're at 4195 Arbor Court in Independence, Kentucky, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any structural issues, any root intrusion, anything that may be of concern to the potential buyer. We're going through the clean out in the stack in the laundry room, which is a little bit about the center of the house, probably a little bit to the right side of the house, close to the garage. And it's a PVC above ground. It goes into a cast iron hub as it goes into the ground. So we're going to try to get all the way out to the main. Hopefully everything goes smoothly and we can inspect the whole line here. I believe the main here is actually across the street. So we may have a little ways to go. We are in a cul-de-sac. So this is cast iron. Looks in pretty good shape, those. Relatively it's probably relatively new as far as cast iron is concerned. Because it looks like it's in pretty good shape. I believe these houses, take a guess and say they were built in the 60s, maybe early 70s. See a little bit of water coming behind. It's flowing nice and smooth. I'm pushing a little bit of stuff with the camera, as you can tell, in front of me. And that camera head is only about maybe half an inch off the bottom of the pipe. It's not very, it's not very big, so the fact that that water isn't even coming up to the lens is very good. I'm expecting that once this leaves the house, we will switch to clay, which I believe we just did. And looks like we have some finger roots as we switched over to clay, which is right as it left the house. Doesn't look like it was a big problem. It could be a buildup of hair. It kind of looked like finger roots, but we're going to look a little bit more at that when we come back by. Sounds about 30 feet or so. 32 feet. Now we are in clay. Looks like there's a top connection here. So there may be a clean out outside, or this is old enough to where that was a downspout tying in. So far this all looks really good. This looks like beautiful pipe. You can actually see the flow line, the dark line where it's light above it. And so if this is combined, which it seems to be, it might be, that's about the highest the water level ever gets. Beautiful so far. We are, you can see, we're 92 feet out. So like I said, the main did look to be across the street. So I'm hoping we'll hit that main within about 110, 120 feet. Maybe getting close to it now. That's why the increase in water level. No, that's just a small, really small belly. It just barely covered the lens. There weren't any solids in the bottom of that either. It looked like that was relatively common in small bellies like that in clay lines, especially when they go out underneath the road. And then it looked like it dropped, and we have a bit of a, 6 to 9 degree incline or decline as it's dropping down towards the sewer main, I believe. And there we are right there. So that's what that was. It was just a slight belly before, as the line was getting ready to make a turn down, and is not an issue. I mean, it's like I said, it's common, and there were no solids or any buildup in that area. It was barely the size of the barely over the camera lens, which is, like I said, about a ½ inch in a 6-inch diameter pipe. Gives it plenty of room to overtake that belly and continue on down the line. So it's not a concern to me. Well, it was about 120 feet out. When we go back, you can probably get a better look at this belly here. It's not much. You can see over top of it there. And so, like I said, ½ inch in a 6-inch pipe is not major, and it's really, really short. So, especially as long as you're just using toilet paper, no wet wipes, no paper towels, none of that stuff going down the sewer line, which is recommended in any case. That would not cause a problem at all. And then here we have that spot that we were talking about. Just so the black stuff on the bottom, that's the stuff from the cast iron. It's from when it oxidizes or rusts, and it builds up. There is some roots getting in right here at the foundation where it switches from cast iron to clay. So I don't really see any kind of major issue as far as it causing any backups. It was a small amount of roots, little finger roots, but you might want to put some chemical down there just to kind of, and then flush the line out a little bit just to kind of get rid of all that, all this buildup. This is common in cast iron pipe, and then as I'm pushing through it, I'm creating a little channel below it. But yeah, all this black goo, it's normal for cast iron pipe. it rusts, and then it mixed with the water and the other stuff in the pipe, and it just turns to a black goo. It's almost like charcoal, wet charcoal, but it's a normal occurrence in cast iron pipe. So that spot at about 30 feet is it. There's a little tiny bit of roots, like I said, not a concern, but you might want to put some a little bit of some root X or something down there to try to burn those back a little bit, since it was just a little bit, and then just flush the line out a little bit. Would probably help get some of that cast iron remnants out of the line. But other than that, the line looked great. That's about as good of for the clay side. That was about as good of a condition as you're going to find a clay line at this age. It looked really good. It was running nice and smooth, and no issues. There was a slight belly out in the street, but nothing that would be of concern to anybody. But for the most part, the line looked about as close to perfect as it could for something this age. So that will end the inspection at 4195 Arbor Court in Independence, Kentucky.